And today I want to share some lessons that I've learned about the art of developing and maintaining relationships. I want to share a story about pushing boundaries and getting pushed back, and maybe some life hacks that might get you a little further ahead. You see, I'm a collector, but not of cars or fine wines or watches. No, I collect something much more valuable: meaningful relationships. In a world where relationships are often driven by the question, what can that person do for me? I want you to shift your mindset and think, what can I do for you? When I was a kid, my father used to play cassette tapes of Zig Ziglar. We talked about him earlier. And he constantly replayed one tape where Zig would say, you can get just about anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. You guys know it, right? I can tell you from firsthand experience, this is truth. Today, I hope our conversation prompts you to reflect on your relationships, ensuring they're built on solid values and inspiring you to do more for others. Before I delve into my personal story, let's touch base on some fundamental educational aspects of relationships. First off, having thousands, or maybe in this case, most of you have like millions of friends on Facebook or Instagram, does not mean you have real friends. Real friends are rooted in mutual understanding, time spent together, and shared values. You see, I believe everyone in this room is in the business of relationships. Whether you work at this hotel, whether you work for ROI, whether you work for a Dairy Queen, you're in the business ultimately of making or breaking relationships. Despite sounding simple, relationships are not easy, right? Unless they have a solid foundation. They must be based on authenticity, vulnerability, and transparency. Relationships serve as the bedrock of human foundation and connection, allowing us to communicate, learn, and grow. We're in a cancel culture day, right? But real relationships offer support, empathy, and the chance for redemption. Instead of immediately canceling somebody or condemning someone for a mistake, healthy relationships grounded in shared values encourages dialogue and forgiveness. So let me share a personal story about relationships. It's a story I haven't shared before publicly. Parts of this are blissful, and part of it's downright scary. In my first year of college, I attended an amazing event called the Student Leadership Forum on Faith and Values. At this forum, we gathered in small groups to study the life of Jesus of Nazareth. Not in a religious format, but we studied him as a person, the human aspect of Jesus. His love, his care, his unwavering support for his disciples, but also his enemies. Jesus was the best friend you could ever have, and still is, in my opinion. He's a servant leader, giving to others without expectation. So let's fast forward to a different chapter in my life, one that was a little more challenging, when relationships were put to the test. Once upon a time, I was a lobbyist in Tallahassee, Florida. I represented some big companies like PNC Bank, Comcast Cable, and Yellow Cab, not Uber. I was thriving. I owned my own business. I was the guy you hired if you wanted something done in the city of Tallahassee. I invested in restaurants, and I was really in good relationships with the city commissioners, the mayor, Andrew Gillum. You might have heard of him. But then something kind of wild happened. In the spring of 2016, a guy from North Carolina showed up at my restaurant and told me about a construction project he wanted to build in the city of Tallahassee. His name was Mike, and he needed a lobbyist. He was going to spend $30 million, and he had a lot of investors. So he invited me out here to Las Vegas, right down the street at the Bellagio Hotel. Of course, I showed up. I was a lobbyist looking for business. And after hearing their plans, I agreed to represent Mike and his guys, and I started doing the work. My relationship with them started to blossom. These guys would fly in every month to meet politicians, hang out at my restaurants. I even worked out with them in the morning. And they actually started to become good buddies. But I'll tell you, my gut did feel from the beginning that something was a little off. And after 12 months, they disappeared. No call, no text, no letter. They just vanished. What came to light later on is that my clients weren't actually developers at all. They were undercover FBI agents investigating public corruption in the city of Tallahassee. When it hit the papers, no one really knew who the corruptors were, but because of my proximity, I became the poster child of this saga. Patient zero in a major corruption scandal. Due to the massive media frenzy and the fear of the unknown, I was literally fired by every client I had. The news media was relentless about me in their writing. New York Times, CNN, even Donald Trump was tweeting about it at one point. As I think back, I was at my lowest point personally and professionally. I had no clue what I was in store for or how long it would take to get through it, or if I could ever have a normal life again. But amid the storm, true friends showed up and stood by me, offering support and business opportunities. I also found resilience from several books, one written by Pastor Joel Osteen called The Power of I Am. The premise of this book is the two most important words we say in life are I am. And what follows those words is how our life will be. So I had to declare in my life that I am okay. I am going to be good. I am going to be successful again. Another book, The Morning Miracle, inspired me to create a morning routine to lift up my spirits and regain my confidence. Creating a morning routine gave me a feeling like a soldier putting on his armor before a major battle. My battle was the media frenzy and the fear of the unknown. So as soon as I would wake up, I'd do 5 things. Make my bed, read my daily devotional, pray for my family, my friends, myself, say my I ams, and do some push-ups. This routine started my day off right, and it gave me the armor I needed to get through it all. If you don't have a routine, I encourage you to read that book, create one. Wake up 1 hour earlier, do things in life that are proactive, not reactive. And since my clients were gone, I needed to occupy my day with something positive, like work. So here comes Hurricane Irma, one of the biggest hurricanes to ever hit the state of Florida. There was so much damage and not enough people to help with the claims. So a friend of mine called and said, why don't you become an insurance adjuster? So I went down to Miami. I traded in my coat and tie for a tool belt, and I went house to house, measuring and estimating the damage from the storm and learning about the insurance industry. I got to tell you, it was a very humbling experience. But I started to enjoy it. I was helping people get their lives back in order. Through relationships, I explored new places and I diversified my experiences. After 7 years of a crazy and wild investigation, the final trial took place. In the end, 3 people went to prison, and I was completely exonerated of the chaos. But I'm not here to play the victim card. My message to you is this: things will happen to you. If you're pushing hard in business and shooting for the stars, things are going to happen. You're going to get knocked down. Don't let it surprise you. And when it does happen, you have to reframe your mindset. And you have to literally think about it as, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. Knowing this and being a person of good character will get you through it, and you might find it to be a blessing in disguise. I did. I faced my adversity head on, and I kept my head held high. And as I reflect back, I can honestly say that I wouldn't change anything. It was tough and scary at times. But I learned that challenges come with the territory if you're going to the moon. It's the cost of doing business. This experience forced me to re-examine myself, my actions, and my goals. It brought me back in tune with my faith, and it helped me to acquire better habits. It strengthened my real friendships and helped me to get rid of the bad ones. And it was a meaningful relationships in life that helped me to change careers and reinvent myself. I couldn't have done it on my own. In closing, I want to share a few relationship hacks that have helped me to kind of get through this, and I hope it's something that you can use in your life. Number one, listen more than you speak. Number two, trust your gut. Number three, find the good in every situation. You may think it's all bad, but there is always something good. Number four, be present when you're with your family and your friends, or even at this conference. Put down the phone and dial into this moment. Number five, be impeccable with your word. Do what you say you will do. Promises matter. Number six, says this in the Bible too, don't let the sun go down in your anger. If you got a problem with somebody, take them for a meal. My friend Chef Art Smith likes to say, fried chicken takes no sides. Number seven, be your brother's keeper. Stand up for your friends, your family, even if it's unpopular. Number eight, write handwritten thank you letters. It's like a lost art, but it means the world to people. Texts, emails, they quickly fade. Number nine, take the shot. You'll never regret taking the shot. You'll only regret not taking the shot in life on anything you do. And number 10, most importantly, be intentional in your relationships. Give more than you take. There's no keeping score in friendship. Just like Zig said, you can get just about anything you want in life if you just help enough other people get what they want. Thank you.